अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वल आक़िबतु लिल मुत्तक़ीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला अशरफिल अंबियाइ वल मुरसलीन व अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमाइन इला यौमिद्दीन। अम्मा बाद क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़िल क़ुरआनिल मजीद वल फ़ुरक़ानिल हमीद। अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। वला तुबाशिरूहुन्न व अंतुम आकिफून फिल मसाजिद तिल्का हुदूदुल्लाहि फला तक़रबूहा कज़ालिका युबय्यिनुल्लाहु आयातिहि लिन्नास लअल्लहुम यत्तक़ून। सदक़ल्लाहु मौलाना अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुल करीम। अम्मा बाद क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़िल क़ुरआनिल मजीद वल फ़ुरक़ानिल हमीद फ़ी शानि हबीबिही इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लू अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। Inshallah, today the topic we're going to talk about is Itikaf, its rulings and conditions, because Itikaf time is coming, so anyone who is planning to perform Itikaf, this is very important for them, either ladies or they are male. What great reward is there when a person sits Itikaf in the month of Ramadan. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in hadith Shu'ab al-Iman Babul Itikaf, this hadith is mentioned there, that the person who does 10 days of Itikaf in a month of Ramadan, he is like that person who has performed 2 Umrahs and 2 Hajjs. He will get the sawab of 2 Umrahs and 2 Hajjs. So does that mean that he does not have to go for Hajj now? Let's say Hajj was fard upon you and you done Itikaf, you got sawab of 2 Hajjs. Do you still need to go to perform your fard Hajj? Of course you have to. You will get reward of fard Hajj. If Hajj is fard upon you, then you have to go and you have to perform Hajj. ठीक है? तो ये लाजमी करना है. So some people what they do, they are reading Quran. There's a new thing has come out. Quran of what? Quran of Bismillah ji. चंगे ड्रामे लाइन आसान. Quran of Bismillah. How they read Quran? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Oh, Quran of Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. थोड़ा दिमाग फिरे. Quran is Quran. Bismillah is Bismillah. Astaghfirullah is Astaghfirullah. What kind of Quran are you reading? Who's giving you this kind of that? You know, when next time someone gives you this wazifa or this Quran, give him, tell him, talk to me. You know, the people who are making fun of Ahl Sunnat wal Jamaat, they are not wrong. They are right. Because we make our fun ourselves. अपना मजाक हम खुद ही उड़ा रहे होते हैं. कुरान ऑफ बिस्मिल्लाह जी. बिस्मिल्लाह बिस्मिल्लाह सारी लाइनों पे हाथ फेर रहे हैं और बिस्मिल्लाह पढ़ता जा रहा है. Why? तो you will get sawab of Bismillah. How are you going to get sawab of Quran? You never read Quran. 3 times reading Qul Huwallahu Ahad, that is proven that if you read 3 times Qul Huwallahu Ahad, you will get sawab of 1 Quran. But you cannot do that. Okay, you read 3 times Qul Huwallahu Ahad and then you go to someone, write 1 Quran from me for your dad's sawab. 1 Quran? What do you mean 1 Quran? Say 3 times Qul Huwallahu Ahad I read. You got the sawab of 1 Quran. You can't give Quran to someone. You have to read Quran to give Quran to someone. कुरान सीखने नहीं हो रहा. दुनिया के सारे काम कर रहे हैं. सारे कम 6-6 साल के बच्चे मेरे मदरसे में याद कर रहे हैं कायदे. हमसे कायदे नहीं याद होते. 30 पेज का कायदा है, वो हमसे याद नहीं होता. बहरहाल चलें, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला हिदायत अता फरमाए. What is the meaning of इतिकाफ and what is इतिकाफ? Now इतिकाफ is staying inside the boundary of masjid for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the intention of itikaf is called itikaf. Someone comes in masjid but he never made no intention. He came in a masjid but he just staying in masjid. He never made intention of itikaf and he stayed there for 10 days. He won't get sawab of itikaf because he never made intention of itikaf. Who can do itikaf? Anyone can do itikaf. Muslim and sane. That is the condition only. So he has to be a Muslim, he has to be a sane person, not mentally challenged. They cannot do itikaf in masjid or wherever. They can't do itikaf. But the condition is that mu'takif has to be pure from major impurities. So those Muslims who are going to come in a masjid for itikaf and sane person who's not mentally challenged, they have to be pure from impurities. Okay? So no major impurity should be on them. Major impurity. One impurity is minor impurity. Minor impurity when you are not in wudu. Major impurities when ghusl is farz upon you. You have to go and take bath. You can't come in a masjid and start your itikaf. Go take bath, then you come in a masjid and start your itikaf. Now, for sitting itikaf, you don't have to be an adult to sit itikaf. Children can sit itikaf as well. But again, another condition is that those children, they do understand the respect of the masjid. They do know the rulings of the masjid. You don't mess about. You don't spoil masjid. You don't do anything which goes against the respect of the masjid. If that kid either is 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, if he understands everything, then he can sit itikaf as well. So there is no condition that the person has to be an adult to sit itikaf. Do I have to fast while sitting itikaf? Now remember, there are two types of itikaf. Two types of itikaf. One itikaf is sunnah itikaf, and one itikaf is nafli itikaf, optional itikaf. Now for sunnah itikaf, which you do in the last 10 days of Ramadan, fasting is condition for that itikaf. You have to fast every single day, those 10 days, if you want to sit itikaf. Nafli itikaf, let me tell you what is nafli itikaf. Nafli itikaf is that when you come in a masjid, you make intention before entering in a masjid, or once you have entered in a masjid, just make in niyat, nawaitu sunnat al-itikaf, I make intention of itikaf. You can say in Urdu, you can say in English, you can say in whatever language, or just in your heart, in your mind, you have intention. Let's say you started namaz, but you never made intention of itikaf. But while you're reading namaz, you can make intention. You just have to make intention. Intention is what is in your heart. Like, then you're reading namaz, that's fine, itikaf started. So as long as you stay in a masjid, you will be receiving reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Either you're not doing anything, you're still receiving reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you're sitting itikaf. So for nafli itikaf, fasting is not condition. For sunnah itikaf, fasting is condition. You have to fast, then you can do itikaf. Now one of the lady, she asked me in the Ramzan lectures I'm doing downstairs, she said, I missed 1 or 2 fast, like first, second, third, or anywhere before the last 10 days. So in first 20 days of Ramadan, I missed a few fasts. Can I still itikaf in the last 10 days? Yes, you can, even though you missed all 20 days, all 20 fasts in the first the 20 days of Ramadan. As long as the last 10 days you are fasting, you can do itikaf. Okay, so fasting is condition for itikaf, even though you missed a few fasts before the itikaf. Next one is that, is it permissible for one who is observing itikaf to go out of the mosque? As I said to you, nafli itikaf, optional itikaf. When you sit here, like let's say you made an intention for nafli itikaf, optional itikaf, as soon as you go outside, you will break, finish. When you come inside, make niyat again. This is nafli itikaf. You can go out, in, out, but as soon you come inside, you have to make intention. But for sunnah itikaf, as I said to you before, last 10 days of Ramadan, mu'takif can only leave in 2 conditions. Those 2 conditions are when there is no toilet or bath facility in masjid. So if in the masjid there is no bath and toilet facility. Nowadays every masjid has bath and toilet facility. Let's say you need a toilet, you need to do wudu, you need to take bath, and there is no bath in masjid, there is no toilet in masjid, then you can go wherever is available. Of course you're going to go to your house, then you go to your house, take bath, you cannot talk to anyone. You go there, take bath, straight back here. Someone says salam to you, you can say wa alaikum salam, but you cannot sit there, parathe bana diyo ji, roti khao, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ? ਸਭ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ? ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਸੋ ਦੁਬਈ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਏ ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ, 3 ਦਿਹਾੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋ ਇਤਕਾਫ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ So you can go home, you can take bath. Both every masjid have facility of bath and toilet, so that's fine. Second condition is when Jummah does not take place in that masjid. Again, every masjid is Jami masjid. Jami masjid where Jummah takes place. So Jummah takes place in every masjid. These are the only 2 conditions you can leave masjid. Right? You cannot leave masjid for, oh, I'm going to eat food. Someone can bring food for you. These are the only 2 conditions you can leave masjid. Otherwise, you mu'takif. Mu'takif is the one who is doing itikaf. He has to stay inside the masjid. Can women sit itikaf in masjid? Woman can sit itikaf in masjid, but with few conditions. But even though with those conditions, it is makruh tanzihi, just disliked for them to sit itikaf in masjid. What are those conditions? Are that her entrance is separate, none mahram goes in that room, and she has all the facilities there. bathroom is separate, all these conditions basically, parda conditions, then she can sit itikaf in masjid, still is makruh tanzihi. Right? Now, if these conditions are not there, then she cannot sit itikaf in masjid, it is makruh tahrimi. If these conditions are missed, then it is makruh tahrimi for her to sitting in a masjid. Where she should sit itikaf? She should sit itikaf at her house in Masjid-e-Bait. It's called Masjid-e-Bait according to Imam Abu Hanifa. Other three Imam says no, she has to sit in masjid. Still they say the same thing as well. It is makruh tanzihi. Imam Abu Hanifa says no, she can sit at home. Make Masjid-e-Bait. What is Masjid-e-Bait? Masjid-e-Bait, where you normally read namaz in your house. There is always a corner or there is a room where you read namaz. If you have not selected any corner, if you have not selected any room, then tell her before she starts her itikaf, she can sit down, start reading namaz in the corner wherever she's going to sit itikaf. It calls Masjid-e-Bait. So she can do itikaf in that Masjid-e-Bait. There are few conditions for Masjid-e-Bait. Those conditions are that she can leave her room to go to the toilet or bath. So she can come out Masjid-e-Bait to go to toilet and for bath or for wudu. Second is she can leave her room if no one is there to make her food. If no one is making food for her, then she can come out to make food for herself as well. If no one is there to make food for herself. Otherwise, as soon as she comes out, her itikaf will break straight away. Her maharim and children can go inside to talk to her, to meet her, to see her. That's fine, that's okay, you can talk. Okay, so maharim are basically father, brother, husband, children, boys, of course. They can go inside and see her. Non-mahram, of course, they can't. Now, is it permissible for a mu'takif to go to Finai Masjid during itikaf? Now we are talking about masjid. Remember, masjid has two parts. There are two parts in a masjid. One is masjid. Masjid is the place where you do sajda, which is separated for reading namaz, and there are only two halls in this masjid which are proper masjid. One is this big hall upstairs, one hall is downstairs where we normally read namaz. These are the only two places in this masjid which are masjid, and mu'takif can only stay in these two places. Our ladies area, that's not masjid, that's Finai Masjid. It's attached with the masjid, it is part of the masjid, but this is where you don't read namaz. I mean, you can read namaz even on the road as well, but that is Finai Masjid. So that room, our library, where you normally eat iftari, we open iftari there, that place is all Finai Masjid. My office at the back, front office at the front, toilet area, wudu area, bathroom area, shoes outside that area, shoe rack, all that is Finai Masjid. Stairs, lobbies, all that, linking one room to another, all that is Finai Masjid. Mu'takifin should not be going in these places. They should not be. Okay? Unless they need to do wudu, unless they need to go toilet, unless ghusl is fard upon them, then they can go and they can use these facilities. Otherwise, the person should not be going to these places. Now, let me tell you, Imam Ahl Sunnat, Imam Ahmad Raza Khan, rahimahullah, he says Finai Masjid is masjid. He says Finai Masjid is masjid, so he can go. But other Imams, and they are very strict in that, they said no, Finai Masjid is not masjid. So it's mukhtalifi masala. So we always take the mas'ala which has got more ihtiyat. So we're more careful about this because it's your itikaf, 10 days you're sitting in masjid. Don't go out for cigarette and don't go there and stand there and talking. You gone there, you are doing wudu, someone says salam, wa alaikum salam. Someone asks mas'ala, yeah, tell them the mas'ala, that's fine. But don't start talking the dunyavi talks. Or now, why you want to talk outside the masjid? Don't do that. You go, do your wudu, your bathroom, just come inside the masjid. Now, inside the masjid, can you talk? Inshallah, we'll talk about that as well. I want to observe itikaf during the last 10 days of Ramadan. I would like to know when should I enter the mosque and when should I exit? This is a normal question. People who are going to sit itikaf, they ask this question. So anyone who wishes to sit sunnah itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan has to be in masjid before 20th Ramzan's Maghrib. So he has to be in masjid before 20th Ramzan's Maghrib. If he comes after Maghrib, basically he has to open his fast in masjid, 20th Ramzan. If he comes after that, it's not going to be sunnah itikaf. It will be nafli itikaf. Your itikaf is gone basically. So you have to be in masjid, make intention that you want to do sunnah itikaf, that's how your itikaf will start, and open your fast here. And second condition, and you leave after 30th Ramzan's Maghrib or 29th Ramzan's moon sighting. So when moon is sighted, Shawwal's moon, next month is Shawwal. If 29th of Ramazan moon is sighted, then you can leave masjid. Or moon has not been sighted on 29th of Ramadan, then 30th of Ramadan, after opening your roza, after Maghrib, you can leave masjid. Because there is no 31 days. Islamic calendar, there are no 31 days. In Islamic calendar, there are no 28 days. Rasulullah says, this is hadith of Rasulullah, then Islamic calendar, there are only 29 days or 30 days. No 31, no 29. So these are the two conditions. Come in masjid before 20th Ramzan's Maghrib, and you have to leave after 29th Ramzan's moon sighting, if moon is sighted of Shawwal, or 30th Ramzan's Maghrib, after 30th Ramzan's Maghrib. Next, is it permissible to talk to others during itikaf, or can I use my phone during itikaf? Yes, you can talk to people. That's another phenomena कि जी बैठे होते हैं इतिकाफ में, गाल नहीं करनी, पढ़ते सट्टे सारे आने सिर अंदर, जनानियां बन के बैठे. Or why do you want to do that? Yeah, you can, people come in a masjid, yeah, you can talk to them. Of course you can talk to them. Yeah, don't talk fazul, because you are here, you're doing business actually. You know, when you do business, you don't waste your time. Here you are last 10 days. Sit down, do zikr, Quran, whatever qada, namaza you have, read those. Take full advantage of this time. Anyone who comes, you know this boy, your friends, you know your friends. Those who talk fazul, you're wasting your time. Meaningless people. Anyway, you cut yourself off from them. Anyway, you should be cutting yourself anyway from them. But they're going to just waste your time in month of Ramadan, and especially in itikaf. Don't call them. Don't tell them, no, you should make iftari for me. Tell them, even though if he says, I'll make iftari for you, no, Jazakallah, my iftari is coming from home. You know your half an hour is gone when he comes. Fazul talking. So don't do that. But if someone is talking to you, that's fine. Alhamdulillah, you can talk to them. There's no problem. Can you use phone? Of course you can use phone. Again, same condition. Use phone, yeah, I need some clothes. And I don't have clothes left in masjid. Phone your wife or someone, yeah, I need some clothes. Or bring this for me, or food is not here, iftar is going to happen, or said is going to happen, how come you guys are not here? So you can talk to them, like my staji, and of course this time inshallah, if I say itikaf, so of course every day I get about 20-30 questions on the phone and voice messages, and I message them back. So my staji is always answering their phone, because messages are coming, so you can give them answer as well, because it's shari reason, so you can do that. Now there is another belief we have, kind of, that not talking at all to people, thinking that it's rewarding, is actually makruh tahrimi. The people who think that when you're sitting at itikaf, you should not talk at all to people, it is makruh tahrimi, next to haram. So why you are not talking? Sharia says, what do you mean that you can't talk? Of course in masjid you can talk, that's fine, that's okay, as long as, again, it's not meaningless talking. How many days of qada does a person has to do if he breaks a sunnah itikaf? So let's say you're sitting at itikaf, either male or female, okay? You're sitting at itikaf and you break your itikaf for some reason, either shari reason or is non-shari reason. Shari reason is, let's say it's a sister and her menstruation started. Of course menstruation starts, what happened? Roza breaks straight away. As soon roza breaks, your itikaf is gone. Or male, something happened and he had to leave masjid, something happened at home or something, he had to leave masjid, he had to leave itikaf, so he has to do qada of those days, whatever he missed, not the old 10 days. Let's say you stayed in a masjid and you did 6 days itikaf, rest left 3 days or 4 days, then you had to leave masjid. You have to make qada of all those missed itikaf days. Okay, and I said to you before, for itikaf, sunnah itikaf, you have to fast. So whenever you're going to do qada of the 4 or 5 days of itikaf, you have to fast as well in those days. Fasting is condition for sunnah itikaf. So if you miss 1 day, you have to do qada of 1 day. If you miss 3 days, then you have to do qada of 3 days. Then you have to fast for 3 days as well when you do itikaf, sunnah itikaf. But there is no qaza for nafli itikaf. So nafli itikaf, there is no qaza. You come in a masjid, make intention that I'm sitting itikaf, nawaitu sunnat al itikaf. You go out and it breaks straight away. And as soon as you come back in, then you do a niyat again. Is it permissible to eat, drink or sleep in a masjid? Only mu'takif can eat, drink or sleep in a masjid. You remember, for everyone. You know, when you come in masjid and you do iftari or eat anything here, or you sleep in a masjid, or you drink in a masjid water, you know, Non-mu'takif, the person who's not mu'takif, the one who's sitting itikaf. If he's not sitting itikaf, he cannot eat in a masjid, he cannot drink in a masjid, he cannot sleep in a masjid. It is makruh for him to do in the masjid these things. Yeah, what you can do is, I said to you, as soon as you walk in a masjid, make intention of itikaf, that you are mu'takif. So whenever you start eating, iftari time, just make intention, nawaitu sunnat al-itikaf. Or just in Urdu, Allah main itikaf baithne ki niyat karta hu masjid. Okay? I'm making intention of sitting itikaf in masjid. Alhamdulillah, your itikaf has started. Now you can eat, drink, sleep in the masjid. Can a mu'takif sell or buy things in the masjid whilst in itikaf? Mu'takif can buy or sell things in the masjid if this depends on his business. Okay? Business, let's say it's going to affect his business if he sits in itikaf for 10 days and he thinks, I want to sit itikaf, but it's going to affect my business. Then he can do business in masjid as well. He can sell or buy things in masjid. But there's a condition, you cannot bring business goods in masjid. Yes, samples are okay. For your business goods, you bring small samples, small bags or something. Like one of our friends, when we sat itikaf in our masjid, when I was an imam here, one of our student in Dars Nizami, he used to sell dates. So he used to bring khajur, just samples, small packs in a masjid. The people would come and they, okay, that's fine, go to my house, my brother will give you. Business goods have to be at home, samples you can bring here. And you can do all those business as well if you want to. This is very important. Mu'takif, they don't care about these things. If mu'takif has a wet dream, what should he do? He's sitting in itikaf and he had ihtilam in masjid. Should he leave? Should he delay? Remember, as soon you have a wet dream and as soon you realize you have a wet dream, you have to leave masjid as soon as possible. Impure person cannot even step in masjid. It is haram for major impurity. As I mentioned at the start, anyone can sit itikaf. He just has to be a Muslim and sane person and free from all the impurities. Which impurities? Major impurities. He has to be pure from all the major impurities. Major impurities are that the woman should not be going through menstruation cycle, or her menstruation has finished. She has to take bath before she sits itikaf in masjid or in our masjid-e-bayt. And male, if ghusl is fard upon him, then he has to take bath before he comes in a masjid to sit itikaf. Because major impurity, there are few things that are haram for you doing. Reading Quran, either by heart or by looking at it, holding Quran, stepping in a masjid, reading namaz, of course. Even stepping in a masjid is haram for the person. So as soon you are wet dream, you leave masjid there and then. Quickly go take bath and then you come in. So before you sit itikaf, ask masjid intizamiya management where is bath. So before you sit itikaf, make sure you ask management where the bathroom is, so that the shortest route you can take towards the bath. All the masails are done, the main masails. If you still have any questions regarding itikaf, those who are going to sit itikaf, any other questions, you can come to me and you can ask me these questions. Jazakallahu khair.